guys. Justice for
It
Cwecwe.
cannot be elangeni the whole day.
So I'm also.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of
Cwecwe. And not us guys saying our episode we uploaded episode 4 because we had to give content before episode 3.
But there were some technical challenges with that.
Technology happened, so we could not upload. So apologies for that. That was episode 3, and this is
the real episode
4. It's technology, guys. It's technology. But anyway, welcome back to Cwecwe. I am Sibo, and I'm with your girl
Lungi. And yes, it's a
we are back, and if you are bumping into these beautiful faces for the first time and you're wondering we are Cwecwe. We are Cwecwe. We are the faces behind Cwecwe, and Cwecwe means let's have conversation. It could be conversation on anything that we are interested kuyo and that might be of interest kuwe. And thank you so much for joining us. But the subscription is not going.
It's gonna come.
The viewership is viewershipping, but the episode, the subscription is not going. But we understand, yeah, most definitely. Give it time, hey?
Looking back,
and be like, hey,
this is where we started.
We started here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. I am telling you.
But if you do come across our content, please don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe and
like, comment, and share content here too, so that a lot of people can come this side.
Please,
and
guys.
we grow together. And then, guys, each episode here, it covers 3 things. We've got a segment of how are you, how's your heart, and then we've got number 2, what is on your mind, and then number 3, it is the introduction of the topic, and then we basically go through and discuss the topic that we have chosen for the day.
So how are you?
I am good. I had indicated on my previous episode that I will be traveling home because we had an incident. My umntana wecousin yam.
Nephew and niece.
Okay, my niece was shot in PE. And yeah, we will be burying him this weekend, therefore. So I am traveling back home in Eastern Cape. By the way, we are from Eastern Cape. I don't know.
Nephew.
Yeah, it is my nephew. Nephew. Yeah, it is my nephew. So yeah, but I'm okay. I think it's been almost 2 weeks now since we got that call. I think I'm feeling much better than
you were the last time
I was the last time. Yeah, so I think as especially I don't know how I'm gonna feel when I get home, because obviously I can feel better because I'm here. I'm far from the family, the situation.
Yeah.
But when I get home, I don't know what's going to, the pain just.
The environment is gonna be somber, obviously, because like boy is so fresh, it's still. And also umzimba mawusephezu komhlaba, they've got a saying about uyasinda. So there's like a lot of complications and family arguments. I don't know why. When there's a funeral, it should be like that.
Yeah, but I just pray that everything goes well. The parents are very strong and they're able to organize the funeral with the assistance of other family members, of course. I just hope that everything goes well. And there's unity and there's peace, there's love, and
Yes, please.
And how are you?
I'm tired. Like I'm exhausted. I feel like there's not enough hours in the day to do
To do what?
everything.
What do you want to do?
There's so much I have to do, ne? And there's so little time. So it's like I have to fulfill so many roles
I know.
in one day.
In one day.
And then D1 and like yo, some days just enye iyastragila or two ziyastragila, but ke we here now I'm also traveling down to the Eastern Cape this weekend. A cousin of mine also passed, so we're going to lay her to rest. So yeah, I am looking forward to the trip. The last time I used public transport ndisiya emakhaya bandibambe inkunzi edutywa. I am praying and I'm hoping. And it's funny now, ne? I know. Imagine ngisurvive iJoburg, guys. Like Alex Gale, Joburg, CBD, umuntu uyangena, you know, with no hassles. Ngifike edutywa. I'm not saying anything about edutywa, but edutywa like semakhaya. Bayithatha ifoni. But this was like at knife point. So I tried fighting back, but when I saw like maybe baninzi, and it was like those guys about like they on some substance abuse, like they on some substances about abusayo. So ibhasi yafika I think ngaboma past 5 to 6. So it was quite empty at town Monday ebhasini. So yeah, that left me feeling a bit uneasy.
So always have to get off a police station.
Yeah, but ibhasi mayikwehlisa ibhasi andithi nestop sayaphi ikwehlisa khona, and the police station is not far from actually where I got off.
You do request.
So yeah, this time around
you must make sure.
But I made sure even the time and like the buses ifika ekuseni, but not too early. So uzofika phaa ngabo I think some around my 10 in the morning.
No, so yeah, so it's going to be a problem.
So yeah, no, that incident left me traumatized. So I do not want a repetition of that, to a point where every time, like when I go home, I will just use my card because I am avoiding such incidences. But other than that, yeah.
You're good, you're good. And what's on your mind?
On my mind,
a lot.
Guys, justice for Cwecwe.
Justice for Cwecwe,
Justice for
guys. Justice for Cwecwe.
It cannot be that so many months later there has not been an arrest when there's people that are being there's suspicions around the people. And why does it have to take social media for things to actually be taken into consideration for our departments, your SAPS and like your social services and everything else?
And every Department of Education and everyone else.
For social media, for them to actually tackle a problem or an issue. Because Mandiva, this actually happened last year.
October.
Around October. And to this day, Kagabiko Sombululo, no, justice for Cwecwe, I don't think there's anyone, let alone a child, who deserves to go through what she went through.
So I'm glad that there's been developments, even though as you're saying that it took so many months, like almost like 5 to 6 months, something like that. But I'm glad that finally the principal has
finally decided to give specimens.
Yes, I don't even think that he has decided, but because of the pressure.
Yeah.
And also, sad news, we are shooting this on the 2nd of April. I just heard that Mama Mdwana was involved in a car accident. She was driving alone. We don't know what could have happened. We don't know if Bafung Kamangai, as she said, she will die for her child. So yeah, but anyway, she's okay, and yeah, I'm happy that she's okay. But she had to cancel the interview that she had. I don't know with which state or for whatever, but the police department indicated that NPA has given them a right to have access to the tests that were done on the child whenever the thought done by those doctors. So we hope that while she's still recovering, because they've checked her in with the psychologist for counseling and for counseling. So we don't know. We just hope for the best. But it's so sad because after the justice for Cwecwe, then there's justice for Alu, who is also from Matadela, but in Maluti. And you're just thinking, hey, what's going on? There's also justice for some girl who was also raped at Nelspruit Kuro. And there's another one that was also raped by a 53-year-old teacher, and the girl's 13 years old.
So
and it's not the first time, by the look of things, he's been doing this to the child.
So there was a list, Yama perpetrators, that was supposed to be made public, where like people who commit sexual offenses on kids or on anyone, once they are
they are
charged with those offenses, then their names will go onto a list, and then South African businesses or companies or even states, they can actually, like AMA departments, they can actually go through the list and check if the person's name is not on there. It should have been up. They keep on postponing the deadline, of which I don't understand why is it not up yet. Because the information is there.
Yeah, the information is
The
there.
people's names are there.
I think the problem is some of the stakeholders are indicating that there are quite a number of people that were falsely accused of the rape, and they are serving, and some it's only now that the victims are coming out and saying, actually, my mom said I must, because they had maybe they didn't have peace, as we're saying about families. My mom and Umalume, they were not, in a,
so you accuse
so
the person of.
But also, I wanted to say it is going to help the departments or the employers, the employers, the employers that have access to the system. Like, for example, if ngumntwana omncinci or ucwecwe, for example, it doesn't help that list because you don't know anything about the list. You don't have, even if you have access, but I mean, you can't remember everyone. And also, if I meet a person who was once charged of a rape, then I can't, and that person can use a different name and surname at that moment. Because remember, at that moment, I just meet a guy somewhere, we start having a conversation.
And then they give you
because I'm not gonna go and check the information there and they. I mean, there is Tabo Bester, a classic case, Tabo Bester, whom was known as someone Munsipe. For the longest time, a lot of people knew him as a name that is not his. But I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not against any help that the government is coming up with, which would definitely help the society, or try and assist the society to ensure that we are safe.
Especially our kids, guys, because we cannot afford to be having such perpetrators being
Roaming
trusted
around
with our kids.
Like
having access to kids 8 hours a day for 5 days in a week, was balo mntu lowo akajonganga umntana ebona ngeliso lokuba ubona umntana ujonge umntana ngelinye imehlo, no. I don't know how they can differentiate or get their facts together, whether the person did or didn't. But if people's DNAs could actually, yes, because if your DNA is found to be yours and it was maybe found on a child or something like that, then it links you to the case. So no, that list needs to come out.
It does. It's so sad, man. It's so sad. And the sad part about it is there are parents who are not paying attention to their kids, and they, even if they do realize that something happened to a child, they don't really report it. They just say, and then those that have those that actually take a step and go report it, they are not being assisted. It's a sad situation. But yeah, justice for Cwecwe and justice for Alu and justice for all other kids that went through the same situation, that maybe they are aware, or those that are not aware, because I mean,
whether they were reported or not,
or not,
they should strive and fight for their justice. But then here's the twist, ne? You lay the charges, the person is arrested, and now the state has to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the suspect actually did it, and they mess up your case.
They do.
Like case Cheryl Zondi, with the televangelist Pastor, Futi doesn't even deserve to be called Pastor. And he walked scot-free.
And to add to that, besides the cases that he had or he were listed under his case, I mean,
like he was found not guilty on all the charges against him.
The person who was testifying was just killed a week ago or so, and a week later, he is found.
The sentencing is done, and he's found not guilty.
And it's so sad because there are people that there are female people. I don't know what to say, but like females
who that were supporting him from the church.
And I mean, I don't know how you then support after there were so many cases of him. It's just disturbing, man, because it means basically someone is believing him over the 21 cases that he was.
They use God in the whole. So
hey guys, I don't know.
Do you remember the testimony of Cheryl Zondi?
I do. It was so sad. It was so sad.
Having to discuss or tell in detail how the whole thing transpired, how the whole thing happened, how the whole thing made you feel. Like all eyes were on her. I remember because it was even televised. So you have cameras, you have like reporters, you have journalists on your face. Your face is all over TVs and radios. Your voice is on the radios, and then you are like narrating a story, like it's something. It happened to her. She had to relive that whole situation.
Also,
and now
this case was started when I was not even aware that it has been so long.
Like, it's been 8 years.
2017, in 2025. You are still going through it, and at the end of the day, they just say the person is not guilty. It is so sad, man. You know.
So it makes you question a lot of things about our justice system as well.
Definitely.
Kumele ube nantoni mhlawumbi for you to get the justice. Like, who do you need to
I think it must just be
for you to get the justice.
He must just go back to his country.
Besides going back to, he needs to pay for the things he did.
So to by this point, it might happen, it might not happen.
But knowing in South Africa and you might come back a different person. Who knows?
Someone else.
So, yeah, it makes you question a lot of things about our justice system, about who do you have to be for you to get the justice. And like Melube Nantoni, you have to like have the influence, you have to have money, you have to know people and stuff like that, because it seems like ordinary people who can buy for money justice.
Definitely.
So
sad, man, and we're just not safe. We are living day by day, but you just don't know what could happen to you. Anyway, could be in your place, it could be in your workplace, it can be everywhere. It can be anywhere.
Even the restricted resources also, because for these cases to actually, for each state to actually win these cases, they need evidence. And the evidence has to be compiled by your investigating officers.
And how many
investigating officers do we have to begin with? And how many cases are they assigned with? So, Fumanda, an officer E1 has got
but
like
for me,
10,000
you know,
cases.
Mina, for me, I don't have the knowledge of investigating. But I feel like if Mama for example, has taken Utoko to a hospital and the doctor has confirmed that she was raped, first of all, we now have step one
Okay.
to say the person was raped.
And then
Secondly,
now DNA has to be taken, the sample and it's
yes, secondly, they have established where could
it have happened.
yes, they've established that. Now they've also established that who was in contact with the child at that time. And likely the track pants that she was wearing on the day, they were there as evidence. So I'm just saying that case yakhe, it is not as difficult as other cases where you'll find that they realize after some time.
But also, Sibongile, when you look at it, yes, the evidence is there. But when you look at the labs in South Africa that are for such cases, zingakanani samples, like there was a story not so long ago over there's some samples which ziyabola because there's not enough workforce or human resources to deal with that. So samples are taken, but they just buried there. No one knows uba sample likabani because
I maybe for government labs, not private labs. Because I feel like private labs. I mean, like during COVID, I tested today. The following day, I had my results. Private labs, and then the state or the whoever is supposed to, if they realize that they do not have enough resources in the state labs, then they can venture into forming partnerships with private labs. Yes, private labs. It's form of CSI for the private labs, and if the private labs also, they can just come forward and assist in cases where they can see that it's of urgency, because really for me, there are cases that it's not easy to 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 track. It takes time, but there are cases that I mean, if they were able to crack cases about who's this woman who was killing people, Rosemary. If they were able to crack cases about Rosemary, things that happened 3 years ago, they would resume umzimba home. Umzimba had was land or as natural death. Then they resumed. Then they able to test and see whether this person was poisoned and whatnot. I mean, because the child has fresh. I mean, this thing happened on a Monday. Then on Tuesday late, they found out. They took the child to different doctors, and it was confirmed. The Monday track pens were still there, so they were able to. I mean, that the I don't know how fresh that is, but I think that blood and any semen and sperms, whatever that could be, they should still be able to test those.
But it goes to show the competency of the people that are actually supposed to be doing the job that they assigned or they actually employed to do. Somewhere, somehow.
They're definitely not doing the job, because if you listen to that, I feel like also a lot of people did not go and listen to that podcast where Mama Goto was interviewed, and that is why on the socials some people are just asking silly questions and asking things that if you would have listened and watched that podcast, you would have gotten the background of the story. I mean, she had to pull her rank because she's also a police woman. She had to pull a rank on another police woman, because the police woman was saying to her, "But why are you reporting this as grave when the doctor's report doesn't say the child was raped?" And then the mother is like, "What do you mean? What does penetration?" Because the report says the child was penetrated. So what does penetration mean?
Especially on a minor.
And the child was penetrated on both sides, on the vagina, on her anus. And I mean, in anus case, even worse, you can't, 44, 7-year-old child, even a vagina, you can see.
But
even an old person.
Even our police stations, they are not friendly to report such cases. There should, like people have been saying, but there should be designated spaces or areas where in a police station, in every police station, where if an incident like that happens to you, you are able to go to that office or to that department to report the incident instead of just being, I mean, kusetify khona, like where everyone is reporting a case, it's such a public space, it's such an open space for you to be disclosing such. I don't like, it hasn't happened to me, so I don't know how it feels, but it's not something on my figure. Oh guys, I have been great. Like you can't. You need Zotin.
They do
The
have
environment needs
offices, because once you get there, you indicate that you are here to report a case.
Yeah.
Then they move
They
from
move it to a
yeah.
certain. Okay.
But I feel like the issue is with the personnel
That's taking
that is
the
taking,
case.
because obviously if you're not sensitive, and maybe your emotional intelligence is not par, then you're not going to be able to handle things.
Hey,
And
so
also for me, I'm not saying police officials should not ask questions. You must ask questions, but
with sensitivity.
with sensitivity, and indicate to the person that, look, I'm not asking questions because I'm not believing what you're saying. I'm just asking questions so that I can have a lot of information on the statement that I'm writing, and if there's anything that you remember as we go in, they were like, just so that the person can be able to open up. But yeah, it's all sad, man. It is so much, like, it's so sad, and a lot of cases that have been ezifakwa phansi kwebhedi basically by families, umalume orephe umntwana, and umntwana xa esitsho kwathiwa noma siyithethe as a family, kwahlawuliswa inkomo, yahlinzelwa inkomo, yadliwa, and the child did not even enjoy low nyama, and you expect the person to be fine. I feel like we there's a lot of crime because of maybe such things. You'll wonder, kutheni umntwana ona-20 who had a potential jikijiki umfana khona sekabamba inkunzi, not much, maybe was experiencing such things, because now rape is not it's not only girls, even boys. And you don't, now we don't understand what happened to the child, because maybe psychologically it did affect them, and they are now resorting to, okay, if I was assaulted, I'm going to do the same to other people. We're not promoting that. I'm just saying that there are cases where, when an investigation is done, then they realize that this child is eating like this because of a history. Maybe the child was molested, whatever the case might be. And now he's doing the same thing, you know.
Yeah, and being in a country that's known as the rape capital is not nice.
Yeah,
honestly, it's not nice.
It's not nice
It's
at
not
all.
nice.
It is just not nice.
But yeah, we are advocating for people when they face such incidences, unfortunate incidences, that cases are reported, and that the police actually take the matters seriously and not take it like any other case, like every other case that they get assigned to by party with utmost importance, I think. Yeah, they may be like overworked, and we understand there's like a lot that our police is dealing with. But yeah, we're just crying for them to just tackle every case with sensitivity and with importance.
And also the society. When I saw some lady, it was so sad that it's actually a lady who commented that, to say Cwecwe actually enjoyed this. It's just that the parents found out. Then I'm like, a 7-year-old. How can a 7-year-old enjoy?
The comments have not been nice. I also saw there was a guy, apparently he's studying to be a teacher. He said some nasty comments about the child, and it was like, how do you even say that? Like I can't even say andikwazi ngiyitsho ndiphinde futhi and actually reiterate what
it's so sad, because now basically the person is saying, if I am a 35-year-old who is indicating or reporting that I was raped, then in her mind, you see how that person is affected psychologically, because she's saying it means I must enjoy, it's just sex. Sex is sex. Njani? Njani, guys? No, it's so sad, man.
Yeah, no, it's
but
sad.
we hope for the best. We hope that Mama Cwecwe is going to be fine, and she's going to recover, and she's going to be protected by all means. But because at this point we don't know what could have happened that disturbed her. It could be that because of she's going through a lot, she's exhausted, she's fatigued, then the accident happened. But it could be that there was someone who was trying to take her out. We don't know. But I'm glad that a lot, yes, there are those negative comments, but we also should flag the positive response and the support that came out.
The protest
in Cape Town, in Gauteng, everywhere actually, because it was everywhere, even in Matatila, in Gauteng, and even in other provinces, in KZN. And I'm so glad because when I was listening to the podcast, Mama Tuto indicated that she's been talking about it, but people have not been reacting to it. And until she posted on Facebook, then someone from KZN picked it up, and then they started talking about it, gaining the traction. And also I saw that on TikTok. Then it eventually moved and moved and moved. And I'm also happy for everyone else, you are a celebrity or not, that
who's actually advocated for the case
to be taken seriously.
And also the Minister of Education, big ups for actually, even though it's being reactive, not being proactive.
They should have acted on this by November, because they got the report in November last year, and they're only doing things now because they're exposed, basically. If Matuka did not take this to socials and everyone was aware of it, the what is this? The premier office in Cape Oscar Mabuyane, he's been quiet for the longest time. I only heard this morning that something that he did. And the police national, they were not saying anything. Education was not saying anything until it gained traction and everyone was talking about it. That's when they then felt, which is very sad for the people that we've appointed to help the society when they are not doing what they're supposed to do, because basically they're just waiting for us to talk about it. Then
they act.
Also another thing is they when people on socials were talking about it before, celebrities and a lot of people started talking about it, there was nothing that has been done, because it was just people on TikTok that more of you and me. Until then, it got people that are
prominent,
which is not right, which is not right, basically.
So whether it's like a catch-22. You report it, it goes to the courts, and chances are it might get fumbled.
Because if they fumble the tests, then But even if the test for the principal come back as negative, he still needs to answer, because the incident happened in his school. So they need to know who was at school at that time, except him and the caretaker. And the school transport driver was cleared, and the dad had offered that they can take his DNA, so that it's not but there are a lot of cases. Like, for example, I was talking about my niece who was shot. Like, just to give you details, so my niece was doing his first year in Wusu, I think in Butterworth or somewhere, I don't know which campus. He was doing his first year. Then because of the strike or something in Wusu, then he went to his family in PE, like to his parents, even though we're from Matatila, and well, they are more of the side of Matatila and Ngapasm, but it's just demarcation rate, it's not nothing major. Then he went to PE, and then that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which was his 5th day in PE. The robbers, so they jumped a gate and came to a back room, because apparently the fight. The last time I was there, it was a long time ago. From the main house. The child was there. So when I say the child, I think like it's about 20, 21. He's young. I think he's like about 20 if he's doing his first year. Not even 20, maybe 19. So then they forced him to to go to the main house. When they got, there was a brother and the mother, and they took everything that they wanted basically, and they did cash sends to themselves, and then they also asked for a pin and took a card, and they requested that the mother increases a limit. They took everything, and they also took a plasma, but because of the card that they were using, I that they took car as well. But because of, I think the plasma is a bit big, they couldn't fit, and they didn't have time to be folding his stool and because of number of needs anyway, I think there was apparently there was about like 5 allegedly. So it was after they left for maybe 4 seconds, I don't know, and then I don't know what made them to turn back, but we are at the stage thinking that it could be that they realized that because apparently it's same age group as the guy.
So they knew
They
could
have known them. Then they came back and shot him, and not even once. I think like about 4 or 5 times. I mean that's them killing him. Basically, they murdered him, and now they I heard that those people that did that, they are actually known now in the community. I just don't know what is happening at this point. I'm not sure. I think I'll get the updates when I get home. But I'm just thinking that it's not the first time that such thing happens to someone who's from home, and it happens in PE. But I've never had any arrests or things that like it's just
people
quiet
and people get killed like in gruesome ways, and keep it moving. It's like there's a docket ezovulwa iphinde futhi kubekwe
you see now why by isongeso, why actually Zulus use that term isongeso basically means that you are
avenging yourself because
yeah,
you feel like
paying
the law
revenge
is taking too long
to resolve the case. And fumanise uba umntwana kokwenu wasweleka, they made it umntwana kokwenu, but the
people are known,
people are just roaming around, and they continue committing more crimes. It's not even like they've stopped. They continue involving themselves in other things and killing people in while they at that. But we just hope and pray. We must not lose hope. We must not lose the faith that things are going to be better. And
because we have such a beautiful country.
We do.
Honestly speaking, besides like the landscape, the oceans, the wildlife, even the people themselves, like the people of South Africa are the best people you can find in the world. The flair that we have, it's just, if we can just eliminate those elements, man, of crime, those elements of like just crime and corruption, because there's a lot of guys being, but can we just make South Africa great? I know it's never been great, but
it has never been great.
Let's make South Africa great again.
No, you can't use the term again because there's a lot. Great. It's just that the cases were not. And also, can you imagine other similar cases that are happening in rural areas of Eastern Cape, rural areas of Limpopo, of KZN?
And there's a lot of these things that are happening, but because of publicity and also the communication. I mean, abantu abasemakhaya kakhulu, they don't have ngithi ezilalini mhlawumbi kakhulu uthola nabantu abadala ogogo noma kunotatomkhulu, so they don't have these things of social media. So when these things happen, like they hardly ever report it, and they hardly make it to the mainstream media. And when they do, it's cases such as those where you find a whole family has been killed, 6 people, mass murders actually.
But now like that's what I'm saying, like these things, guys, psychologically are also correct. There's something wrong with you. How do you like guys, even nomnye it's a lot. We can't even justify to say when you kill more, like nomnye it's a lot. Also, what arouses you? Because I feel like for you to do the action, you need to be aroused. So what is arousing you? You need to be touched, or you touch yourself, you go there and
the more you once you do it, you want to do it again. The more you do it, like, it makes you feel good about yourself. I don't know.
It's so sad, guys. We can't even make jokes about it. We can't even laugh. I'm sure you can see how serious we
Yeah,
are
no,
because
it's not.
it's
It's
not
not
a
a life.
joke.
It's
It's
not
not
a
a laughing
laughing
matter.
situation.
It's
It's
not
not. It's
at
actually.
all.
It's saddening.
Mm-hmm.
It's very. Yes, umoya.
Definitely,
Like, it's
most
just,
definitely.
yeah. I
But
don't think any form of crime, because it violates a human being.
it does.
To begin, whether it's petty theft,
Either
whether
way,
it's
it
murder,
does.
whether it's rape, whatever, but it violates another person's human rights. And we are hoping and we are praying and pleading with the South African Police Services about you cannot say the SAPS is not working, because those people, they do work. We just wish the whole force could actually be
Everyone.
in on the act, and actually, Mabeti, we're gonna serve, protect the citizens of the country, that actually they live up to it, and stop putting
taking
imali,
bribes and whatnot.
yes, because
but also it means also that the government needs to change the policy in terms of salary or remuneration of police officers, teachers, and because those people, in all honesty, they are forefront, but they're getting paid less than 20,000 a month, and you are expecting those people to protect us. But let's not go to politics because we might, yeah, get our facts or wrong. We don't know. But anyway, let's just continue praying and hoping that it's not gonna be only Cwecwe's case that is solved, and all other Cwecwes that we might not know of at this point. Their cases, and the justice is served in their cases, and they do make an example that such should not happen again. And
yeah,
but I also feel that that could only be the, what is that thing that Lamtetwa Ukona Udiliga Jele. But also I think the also another thing that makes that is making things to be difficult now for Udiliga Jele to come back is because of the false accusation, because it means someone is gonna die while being a case. And also I feel like we should stop reporting cases because of no boyfriend, no husband, then you claim back. Yes, because it means the real Cwecwe who is indeed assaulted, they won't be saved. It's because whether you had your own personal vendettas against someone else and then you report it.
So the resources are used actually on that person, and that person is found guilty.
Yeah.
And then the one who actually needs those resources, who actually needs the perpetrator to be proven guilty, because yeah. So,
but anyway, guys, do you have anything
South
else
Africa
to
is
say?
a crime scene.
I'm telling
Like,
you.
because the more you think about it, before the conversation, the more you think about it, the crazier it gets, because cool, you've got the police that's arresting. Fine. Where do these people go to jail? Amajelewets are overcrowded. Like, they are overcrowded. There is no space. There is guys. Like, in a cell you get like 45 people. Like, we've seen when they're doing these raids and stuff, it's overcrowded. So how do we ngoku abantu bayakhutshwa, right? Futhi parole. And then umntu akhutshwe, we're saying they are rehabilitated, because until we say our prison facilities are not actually prisons, but it's rehabilitation facilities. So if by rehabilitation you are meaning that you are fixing that person's problems, like
psychological
you are
issues,
fixing them, or you're trying to help them. They come back outside, they've got nothing to do. What do they go back to? Back to the same thing that they were doing, or even worse, because it's like they go to jail and they graduate to become better criminals, for a lack of a better word. So ubotshela ukutshontsha, mhlawumbe you are doing shoplifting, and then you come back, you're doing cash in transit heist. Yebo, izinto ezinjalo. So Kuninzi man, kuninzi. I just wish government departments, especially that have to do with law and law enforcement, could just do their jobs with diligence, with accuracy, with like love, with passion, and
I wish everyone was Sergeant Ndlovu, that guy who arrested Rosemary and the rest of the other people that were involved in
And
similar
we do
cases.
appreciate people like him because baninzi, there's plenty of them in the force. And those bayithi abafuna i-10 rand is a cold drink, guys. There's nothing wrong with asking for a cold drink, but just do your job. Just do your
there's
job.
everything wrong for asking for
Just,
coaching, guys.
I mean, they could be elangeni the whole day.
So I'm also working where I'm working, but
Then
I'm not.
roadblock and stuff like that.
It's not my responsibility.
So, drink, I'll just buy you a Sprite or a Coke.
Yeah.
But
In what you know
I
that,
need you just being like it's a humane, like being a human, like you are seeing abantu baselangeni yabathi i-cold drink, like literally Coca-Cola, not le
no, but the problem is that there is conflict of interest. That is why I'm saying you sign those conflict of
but
interest.
You don't accept
And
it.
also you've got those donation gifts policies that tells you that you cannot. Like for example, if now I go, because we work with stakeholders, the attenders and whatnot, if I go to a certain stakeholder and eco Mickey that is branded, when I get to the office, I need to declare that, by the way, where I was given eco Mickey, so that person cannot come back to me and say, now you're going to give me a tender because I gave you eco Mickey. You understand? So you can't. It's not. That is why it's illegal. Even if it's tender, and even if it's cold drink, you had it in your car, then you give it to the police official. They're wrong. They're not supposed to accept it because it means if they were supposed to charge you, now they're not going to be objective when it comes to charging you for whatever wrong that you did, or even if you didn't do anything wrong, maybe if your car has something, whatever license, they can't do that because obviously now you have made an advancement as a person. So that is why it's not allowed, regardless of how
whether
much
you are doing it
in
whatever
it's just not allowed.
intentions
Whatever intentions they are, it's just not allowed. But anyway, guys, we are running out of space because one thing about us,
we will talk.
We will talk and talk and talk. And thank you so much for joining us. Please do not forget to subscribe and make sure that you click that bell so that when we do upload something, you are then notified that as Cwecwe has posted something. And please make sure that you like, comment, and share. And from me, Sibo and
Lungi,
it is a goodbye.
Bye.